Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the finest Dawn of War Soulstorm cast this side of East Yorkshire. And today we've got a 1 versus 1 on Outer Reaches. Playing as Space Marines on the right side, we've got CherePok, and playing as the Tau Empire on the left hand side, we've got Bandido. Bandido will be opening of double stealth suit teams, a jetpack research, Tau barracks, and a plasma generator, whereas CherePok will be going for double Scout Marines and a chapel barracks. Oh, actually, triple Scout Marines if you include these cheeky beggars that are coming over on this side to capture their fairest and farthest. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Mr. Landshot, this is a Friday. Why are you not uploading your usual Resident Evil game? Ah, well, young whippersnapper at home, let me tell you, that blooming Realms of Ruin Age of Sigmar game has thrown my entire week schedule completely out the window. I completely forgot that the game was coming out. I was going to have loads of videos planned for it and everything, and I completely forgot. I've been going to the gym too much, lifting too many weights, and clearly the amount of muscle that is now on my arms is not affecting my ability to think. But that won't affect us in how we do today's cast. We've got some Fire Warriors out before the Tau Commander, which is quite interesting. You normally would always go for Tau Commander first, especially on a map like this with lots of jumpy bits. You could, in theory, just jump over here and start pestering what's going on inside the base, but that is not the case today. We are getting the Fire Warriors out first and firm. One scout already been blasted to high heavens with some, what were you, plasma rifles? That's what you've got, plasma rifles. I think, haha, my knowledge of Tau weaponry is not exactly as firm as my knowledge of the Imperiums, because it's just bolters, isn't it? But we do have the True and Blue Ultramarines, proud sons of Roberto Gilliman, coming out to see if they can cut off the Tau expanse. Got the, I assume, the infiltrated dudes are going about capturing things. Yeah, oh no, actually no, you're not. Where are the stealth suits then? Oh, one's over here. And the other one is probably somewhere else, I imagine. Space Marines are going to be massively outgunned in this engagement, but they are hiding in the heavy cover, so that will do them some justice. And there we go, Tau going to move into the heavy cover as well to hopefully mitigate that advantage that Space Marines have. So actually, yep, Space Marines, no matter where they stand in this, they are going to be dumbfounded. Tau Commander actually looking like he's about to engage in close combat then. But actually he is. What a Chad. I mean, Commander Farsight over here, getting ready to slap. I mean, he doesn't have a blade, let's be honest, but he's doing what he can. Fire Warriors now going to run around. Probably want to see this listing post upgraded first and foremost for defensive reasons, I imagine. Ah, here we go. We've got Force Commander coming out. And a stealth team coming around seeing if he can capture anything, but everything is already been built on. Yep, actually really good from CherePok here. Making sure, because, I mean, those stealth suits are a real pain in the backside when it comes to keeping your strategic points captured. But if you've already built your listing post on them, then they're pretty much useless until tier 2. Love the colour scheme for these towers as well. White and purple. Very regal, very royal. Poor Earthcast builder over here being shot at, narrowly surviving death there, so that's something to put on his CV or his resume if you are from across the pond. Do they call it a resume in Europe? I don't know, curriculum vitae sounds posher because it's Latin, I think. Again, my knowledge of Latin is limited. Stealth suit team going to catch this, but I imagine that Space Marines are going to go straight onto it. Oh no, ah, nice. Getting a listening post on it just in the nick of time. And the Tau now with 2 Fire Warrior squads. In fact, actually, Space Marines are really going to struggle. Going up against 1 Tau Commander and 1 Fire Warrior squad is doable when you've got 1 Ultramarines team and a Force Commander, but the moment you get a second Fire Warrior squad out, that's it. They're basically serving up Dungeon rings here. You may as well go back home. And a second squad of Space Marines, maybe. I assume. Oh, you're going to go for 3. I don't know about this, CherePok. Imagine 1 squad of Assault Marines might be the way forward here, but then again, in saying that, do you need your armory up for it first and foremost? I think you do. I can't remember my knowledge of Soulstorm. In fact, to be honest, any version of this game is very limited, considering that so many different mods, so many different build orders, it's hard to quite remember what exactly is going on. That's okay, we've got a snare trap in there just in case anyone fancies it. Space Marines using the high ground. I mean, it won't give them any advantages other than looking cooler, but we can POV it. Oh, don't leave. Oh, fine, okay, let's not do a POV of being an Ultramarine. Well, clearly that action goes against the Codex Astartes. We're going to fall back. Get some more boys with them. And there we go. Listing post has been upgraded, so this is going to be quite the solid place to buckle through. But they can sit in the heavy cover, so that'll be fine for them. And the Fire Warriors will be coming down. A little bit of a slow response there. Probably need to come down ASAP as this listing post will not stand for very long, especially if the Force Commander decides to slap it with his Power Sword. There we go, the fire is being opened up. And the Fire Warriors are now 6 men apiece. That's quite a lot of damage incoming here, especially against heavy infantry, even with the heavy cover going. But they do manage to get that listing post down. Tier 2 1. It's going to be a major blow for the tower. But they've got the economy. They can go to Tier 2 if they want, but I imagine they're focusing a lot on the micro over here. Yeah, Aircraft Builder goes down as a stealth suit team tries to pimp slap a scout, but he's just completely and totally ignoring him. Probably feels like a strong gust of wind blowing them down. But alright, okay. Current economies are 68 and 20 with a significant amount of flirt going on at the moment. And 97 and 10. So actually, hold on. Yes, Space Marines have got the blue money advantage. And going for those all-important Assault Marines. Maybe he was waiting for that firing line. Because the Assault Marines won't kill these guys. Because they'll just keep on running around. The Assault Marines won't be able to get them. Assault Marines are mainly just to keep these boys from firing at the main firing line of the Ultramarines. And the Force Commander is going to see what's going on inside of the base. And yeah, really unfortunate that we're not seeing that Tier 2 going. Gonna go for another Fire Warrior team. Might be an idea to go for Kroots. That's a possibility. But definitely no Tier 2 building on the way. Aircraft Build's been sent over here with no support. These scouts have yet to be dismantled. And yeah, okay, fair enough. They're not exactly the most intimidating unit to go up against, but against the builder, they'll win every single time. But oh dear, mowed down. What was that? 4 Space Marines. That's 200 blue been lost right there in the space of about 3 seconds. So once those Fire Warriors, but now they've got 3 Fire Warriors on the go. Yeah, oh mate, this Force Commander. Oh, we could go for Vespids instead. Yes, Vespids. Much better idea than the Recruit for the moment, considering of their mobility and their discombobulation. Or destab, whatever you call that ability that knocks everyone down. Does amazing damage against buildings as well, does one of their abilities. And oh no, last stand, Commander Borealis. Go on, you can get him. Activate Steel Rain. Do it for the Spesh Marines. Oh no. But look at him, he's not going to give up. He's not even going to deem them worthy of being engaged in ranged combat, or close combat even, but blasted. Wow, that Tower Commander. What a beast. He is. Space Marine is going to use this opportunity, the sacrifice of Boreal, to take down this Tier 2 command post again. Ah, what a pain in the backside. Yeah, because what is it? It's 90 blue to build one up, and then 100 blue and 75 green to upgrade it. Granted, you do get a chunk of blue back once you've finished building it, so that is something. Get a little bit of a refund, but either way, you still don't want to have that on your conscience, do you? But that is a lot of Tau. And even this amount of Space Marines are going to be cowering. But an exchange of melee combatants. Thankfully, these Assault Marines can only engage 1 Fire Warrior team at a time, and these guys can... Oh! Been blasted by a couple of grenades, but not quite getting any dead Vespids there. Another snare trap coming in, but a second Assault Marine squad coming in. Very Tier 1 heavy builds from both players here. Tower Commander going to keep these guys nice and sweet from the distance. And at this stage, you really need to move your Fire Warrior squads away from each other. Give them a nice bit of space between them, as one Assault squad can tie up 2 Fire Warrior teams if they get close enough. Make sure that you spread these guys out. Even if you just, like, click one and then right-click over here, click one and then right-click over here. It doesn't really matter as long as they're going in divergent motions. That's the main thing. The Submarines, they're heavy infantry, but they are lower health than your regular old Space Marines. 1 squad wipe going on there as the Assault Marines fly away. And yes, this other listing post over here soon to fall as well. Space Marines doing a really good job at hemming the Tau in. They've not really had much of an opportunity to burst out. That is because obviously they really work well when you keep all your Fire Warriors together. Although that is 4 squads of Fire Warriors. I don't know if that is overkill at this point, really. So you can't really keep on responding to the Space Marines. They keep on being dicks and breaking things. So take all your Tau, bring them down the middle, force the engagement in the middle is what I would recommend, and then have a couple of stealth suit teams recapturing your bits and bobs as and when you need it. But no, the El Bandido is responding. He's falling into the trap of the Space Marines here. Stealth suit team going to capture this bit, but the scouts are looking at and thinking about recapturing it, but managing to survive. Submarines jump round the flanks, smack bang into the middle, attack the middle squad here. Space Marines move forward. All fire been focused on the Assault Marine squad here. A grenade going off onto these Fire Warriors here. Prevented them from firing for quite some time. Now we're going to have to fall back. Discombobulation from the Vespids, though, knocking all these guys around. Wonderful display of positioning here. Well, the Vespids are now brown bread. Assault Marines down to 2 models. They have fallen back. No jumping juice left for them for a little while. And the Tau, yeah, every engagement the Tau win. But, I mean, I assume... Are you going tier 2? You are not in tier 2 at the moment. You do have the money for tier 2. I would highly recommend you doing it at the moment while the Tau are currently situated inside their base, because they will eventually break out if this kind of engagement keeps on going on. And have you gone for it? Yes, you are fantastic, sir. I imagine vehicles will be in order. Land speeders, I don't think Rhinos will do it. Don't think Rhinos will do it at all, because you'll move Space Marines in, they'll jump out and then get shot to death by the town. You've gone for Pathfinder team. Are you in tier 2? You're in tier 2 as well. Right, okay, well, fair enough. Space Marines are now out-teched, even though they do have the superior economy, but a lot of their economy is spent on these humdrum Space Marines. We've got some flamers in their ranks for reasons I'm not entirely sure of. Can't exactly get into melee or flamer range against these Tau Fire Warriors. Well, not without getting blasted to pieces by that plasma rifles. Got some more. I mean, I can't even click on them because they're infiltrated. What are you? What are you called? I know what you're called. Snare Chop, that's what you're called. A little bit of blue. I always thought this was like a little flower, like a little leaf with a teardrop falling off, but no, it's just a noose. It's quite a nuisance, if you ask me. I do apologise. Like I say, any dad jokes, you're free to unsubscribe. I won't judge you at all. Plasma generator being bonked by the Assault Marines, but thankfully the FCAS builders come in just in the nick of time to rebuild it. And now Plasma Fire is going to scare these guys away. Thankfully they've got the superior maneuverability. Oh, it's got a cheeky... Ooh, I quite like this. Round the backside. No one will even notice it. That's because it's a Vespid or a... the Pathfinder team. Which they do have a Pathfinder team somewhere in here. I remember. Yep, over here, but that is not where the Pathfinders want to be. They're on their own. There we go, they're going to run away. And the Force Commander now with his Thunder Hammer. Very lethal against anything and everything. But the stalwart firing line of the Tau are keeping everyone at bay. Still yet to really capitalise on these positions here. The Space Marines in the middle. They've got their armory. They could go for some heavy bolts, probably. Again, I don't know. Probably vehicles. That's what I'd suggest. Machine Cult on the way and War Gear Bionics level 2. Yeah, I don't feel like Space Marines are going to be the killing blow. But they can at least keep the Tau Fire Warriors occupied. And these Assault Marines doing the God Emperor's work, at least separating the Tau firing line. If you can stop them from doing their death ball, that'll do wonders in the long term. But these upgraded listing posts will certainly be serving them. Now, one Fire Warrior squad against all these Space Marines. One Fire Warrior squad down here against all these lads. And all these boys over here gonna have to slowly shimmy and shit their way back down here. Now, would the Tau benefit from some Devilfish troop carriers? I'm not entirely sure. Because Devilfish troop carriers aren't exactly fast. I think they're about the same movement speed as a Fire Warrior just generally running. Or maybe a little bit faster. Maybe I'm being a bit cynical about it. But the main problem with that is that on a map like this, pathing is a bit of an issue with these corridors and stuff. So, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Gonna go, okay, Rhino. I don't know about this. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone in the comments tell me why I would go for a Rhino in this situation. Unless, of course, you are planning to just jump out, focus on one squad at a time. Maybe grenades as well, just to knock them over for a little bit and get some early damage on before then jumping back into the Chimera? Rhino and running away. Even with the heavy bolts, they're outranged. Outranged and outnumbered. Space Marines, go back home. This is not a last stand that you can succinctly carry out. Maybe even just a Dreadnought. But then again, even though these guys don't do anti-vehicle stuff, just a sheer amount of them will do a lot of damage. And I assume that you've probably gone for your increased range damage for your Fire Warriors. But can I see? I don't know. I can't remember what the original number... I think that's actually the upgraded number. Don't quote me on it, but it would make sense that if you go for Fire Warrior heavy build, you would then also go for those upgrades. Seeing the Fusion Blaster on a couple of these stealth suit teams ready to go up against any vehicles that come their way. Force Commander has been target acquired by the Pathfinders, so even the stealth suits do a lot of damage to him. And he is dead as a doorknob. As dead as Disco, as much as saying that breaks my heart. Now, who am I kidding? Disco's never died. Starts off as a statement, then a threat, then a lament. There's a phrase like that. Vehicle beacon on the way. Yeah, maybe to counteract these Space Marines, the blooming blue missile vehicle, whatever you call that one. We might see it later. Or a Barracuda, just to send around this way, just pester all these unupgraded listing posts, actually. The current economies are 105 and 39 compared to 98 and 30. So actually, even though that Tau have been held back all this time, they have managed to accrue the resource advantage. And yeah, like, where are you taking people around a transport? There's nowhere to transport people to. It's a small map. Very small map. Go and go for a Hellfire Dreadnought. May as well just send this bad boy in to die. That's what I would recommend. Oh, and he's going to do it. Get him involved. Big engagement. The submarines jump out. Lots of heavy bolters. They're going to focus fire on the Fire Warriors. But the Rhino exploding, actually knocking these guys over. Giving them prime time to fire. Some grenades being chucked over as well. Submarines being focused down as the Tower Commander actually engages one squad of Space Marines in melee combat. Again, look at this. Don't see it often. Mr. Farside actually getting involved. Or Farsight even. But actually, Space Marines, tankier in nature. Might not have the DPS output that the Tau Fire Warriors do, but we've certainly got the staying power. And they will push these guys back. Just ever so slightly, the contested point in the middle, yet to be captured by anyone for a significant amount of time. Could be captured by the Space Marines, but I doubt that the Tau will let a Servitor survive long enough to build something up over there. Hellfire Dreadnought. Dear oh dear. Not got any vehicle cap ready. Are we seeing some being researched? Yes, we are. A little bit of a faux pas from CherePok there. And we've got Delphish Troop Carrier. Now, CherePok has done a good job at keeping up all the servo skulls knocking around. So should do less, unless of course they start focus firing them down. But it's a bit of a standoff. Space Marines do not want to get involved. And actually, he's now separated all his forces. But just in the nick of time, the Hellfire Dreadnought comes out. And that Hellfire... and that Devilfish Troop Carrier's got 750 health. Light armor will not stand up to many missiles from the Hellfire. Tower Commander being knocked back a little bit. Just a gentle push. Another little push there as well. Good job his armor is commander armor. Someone who's going to come over and see if they can bash up this listing post. They might have got melter bombs at this point. Not entirely sure, but that is a possibility. Will help them smack through a listing post or two. Double Devilfish Troop Carriers now, and I imagine that you are brimming with boys. There we are. Quadruple Fire Warriors. It doesn't take them long. I do believe that when they come out of a Devilfish, they don't have to set up their weapons. He says, we will see. We'll see how they go. Gotta be careful with your positioning of these Space Marines. They are chunky at nearly 5,000 health for an entire squad, including a sergeant. But you don't want to give them, or the Tau, any chance to get extra shots off. No, I see we're just going to go, oh, that Skyray missile gunship, that's what you're called. You're going to focus on the infantry and heavy infantry as well as get a couple of shots off on those. Right, if you can actually hit one. My goodness, somebody tell them to go to Specsavers or the glasses buying monolith equivalent of your nation. Vision Care. I should... My knowledge of eye care in foreign nations is not exactly stellar, but then why would you expect to be? Yes, okay, so these guys don't have to set up their plasma rifles when they jump out of a Devilfish Troop Carrier. Stealth suits also firing around on this Rhino transport, knocking all these Space Marines all about. Thankfully, there's no one to fire at them at the moment. Also, a lack of infiltration detection at the moment. Could do with a librarian here, actually. Just because it'll survive a little bit longer than your regular server skulls. Unless, of course, you attach them to a squad. Which you've got space in your squads to attach things to. There's a possibility. And these guys, they're cheap. But not money that you've got spare to save. Actually, no, you've got a little bit of money. But you could be doing with just not. Waste not, want not. There are children starving in Africa after all. Self-student teams being blasted to high heavens. Almost squad wipe then. In fact, possibly a squad wipe. No, they managed to survive. But yeah, the Space Marine firing line. Nothing to sniff at the moment. And with double Assault Marines over here, actually, if the Tau get caught out of position, they are in for a hell of a ride. Assault Marines jump over. Target acquired being fired, well, attached to the Assault Marines, making them super susceptible to range damage. Squad wipe on the way for them if they're not too careful. Commander Farside still in there, causing some issues. The Skyway missile gunships, Devilfish troop carriers even, being more or less ignored as the Space Marines attempt to cut down the backfiring lines. Grenade being thrown in there as the Skyway missile gunships focus on the Hellfire Dreadnought. One goes down. Also got a melee Dreadnought over here, which is an interesting choice. The Space Marines don't quite have the ability to shake off all that incoming plasma fire. So Tau will hold for now. A gradual push into the centre here. Double Rhinos. You don't have the troops for another Rhino, young man, I don't think. I mean, fair enough if it was like a Falcon Grav tank where it's got its own weapons, but Rhinos have got naught but their treads and the will of the Emperor to beat their enemies, which is not saying much, considering that they've got no hands to beat people with. What's going on? Are we going to go for tier 3 maybe? We're going to go for the Kion command post, so tier 3 indeed for the Tau. And Space Marines, have you got your little doobly-doodads? I don't think you're in tier 3 at the moment. And if you were, you haven't bought anything of relevance. Tau are now able to spread themselves out a little bit, although a bit risky. Tau Commander gone for that missile launcher on his backpack, meaning that Dreadnoughts are a little bit, or they should be at least a little bit wary of those guys. Assault Marines over here being squad wiped. So now they start pushing on over here. Still one squad of Assault Marines over there. Dreadnought seeks to push these guys back, and now there's a lot of firepower coming in. And being separated from each other. One squad wipe on those Tau Fire Warriors there. Bit of a mistake. Gonna see let me say that again. Gonna see a Barracuda coming down as the submarines continue to cut down these Fire Warriors. Rhino now seeing the opportunity. Will bring the lads forward. And actually, you know what? Maybe the Rhino wasn't a terrible idea after all. Able to get those Space Marines well into position before the Fire Warriors could react. You know what, Rhino? I take it all back. You done good, kid. You done good. And now the Tau have only got 2 squads of fully... In fact, no. Yep, 2 squads of Fire Warriors and 1 squad of Pathfinders. Losing a lot of their strategic points here. Also giving the Space Marines an additional one for their efforts. It was looking so strong for the Tau earlier on, and now it's getting a little bit desperate. Space Marines also got a significant amount of money that they could be spending on anything and everything, which they are choosing to just more Rhinos, more Dreadnoughts. If they ain't broke, don't fix it. Tau, have you got any money? You've not got much. You've not got much at all. But Barracudas, that's what's on the menu today. Barracuda's good to kill the Dreadnoughts. But I don't think it's the Dreadnoughts that are the main problem now. I think it's probably the Rhinos. But the Space Marines, they've let these guys push out a bit. Why? Interesting. Could have gone in for just a lot more damage. Maybe even at least decapping this, just to prevent the Tau from rebuilding the listing post, and also denying them some extended vision, as the Tau can fire outside of their natural vision with their long-range weaponry. Rhino explodes. Oh no, that's a lot of Space Marines now open to the elements. I mean, they're throwing down a smoke grenade, but that's on the Tau. Don't know if that gives them a bonus to defenses. Dreadnought gonna try and sacrifice himself for, pardon my French, but the greater good of these other Space Marines. And he just shoulders shrugged, lets out a big sigh, thinking, come on boys, what were you thinking? Landspeeder Tempest going to go for a crack missile. Help them combat the Barracudas, but I don't think he's done it in time. Got some missile launchers on the Space Marine, in fact, quadruple missile launchers on these guys. That's just jumped into the Rhino transport. Landspeeder Tempest is a second one. It's not looking pretty. It's not looking pretty at all for the Space Marines. They've effectively lost one half of their standing infantry. You're going to start getting some more Assault Marines. Lack of tier 2 there. You had the chance. If anything, that was what would have been a good idea to hem these guys in, take up to tier 2, get some Terminators on the field. Or maybe even some Predators. Oh, Whirlwind, just for the AoE knockback on these Fire Warriors. It's like a free grenade every 7-8 seconds. But Rhino's been cut down. Fire Warriors now having a field day at firing all this infantry. Excellent use of the Pathfinders, constantly using their target acquired ability to snipe out those Assault Marines. So that's the Assault Marines being taken care of. And I do believe that CherePok has probably swapped over to the Land Raider Tempest just because he can't quite afford to keep that Dreadnought incoming on the go. Gonna go for another one as the Tau start taking up position in the centre of the battlefield. All the Space Marines are over here. No wise place stand. If the Tau catch them out of position here, they've got nowhere to run. Probably best to manoeuvre them down here as quickly as possible. Or maybe send in an emergency Rhino, maybe, to save them. It doesn't look like it. Servitor goes down. Another Landspeeder Tempest on the way out. Space Marines, nowhere to go. Bar humbug, does CherePok say. Rest of recuperation. I do know that he's rushing for GG. And yeah, you know what? That's a fair place to end it there, Mr. CherePok, because all your standing army was there. No way for them to escape the incoming might of the Fire Warriors. But you know what? That was a really good back and forth. Genuinely had no idea who was going to win. And look at just a sea of dead going on this side. Space Marines really being aggressive all the way through that game, being able to just keep the Tau on this side of the map for most of it, but the moment the Tau broke out, that was it. That was their goose cooked. So cool. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, have a look at the old Patreon. £1 a month gets you one extra game a week. And there's also a Discord, where Discord things happen. Links in the description as always. That's been Mr. Landshark. Pleasure as always, never short. And I will see you in a bit. Peace.